Dear Christina of Sommers, who stole feminism? Well, nobody stole feminism. What's occurring now is that the chickens are coming home to roost. Men have woken up, and you are feeling the aftermath of men waking up because the roosters have woken up and realized what feminism is, what it's always been doing, and now it's actually starting to pretty much cause a backlash against females that aren't enjoying the shade that feminism once provided by robbing men of their wealth, using men as utility, and at the same time, whenever females wanted to, just discarding or disposing of these men and pretty much getting another man, either due to the fact that they were sick of him, hypergamous reasons, maybe they found someone that's either more richer or probably a little bit younger and what have you. Feminism's always been demented. Do you not recall the white feather movement of World War I that caused many young guys, many young men to die via the shaming strategies that were projected upon them, which led them to their death? Kids, just kids, little boys, 15 years of age, pretty much handed the feather by your feminists. These feminists these feminists that are a part of this chain of females that connects them from World War I till today to current feminists. Who stole feminism? Who stole our boys? Who stole our men? Anyway, welcome to Australia, and just wanted to ask you, how does the taste of Australian feminism feel like? The ignorance, the arrogance and absurdities, etc. I mean, I was watching the drum on ABC, and sort of felt sorry for you. I've got to be honest. I mean, you were speaking with more intellect. These females were speaking back with, I mean, not only ignorance, I suppose they were more arrogant, if anything. And I know you look frustrated, and any person would appear to be frustrated because they were just regurgitating false information whilst you were giving them statistics and projecting them information based on research.
Christina busts what she says are myths around the gender pay gap and sexual assault statistics. She's in Australia as a guest of the Centre for Independent Studies, and she joins us now. Christina, welcome to the Drum.
Nice to be here.
Now, you call yourself the factual feminist. Are you implying that other feminists are just making stuff up?
Not all feminists. I make distinctions among various groups, but there are some hardliners who prevail in the universities, and they are not careful with the truth. And I think that women will be best served by sound information, and there's a lack of it right now.
I mean, how does it feel to give female statistics based on research only to then be responded with line after line of pure ignorance? The passive anger coming out of these females that you were speaking to was clear. It was crystal clear.
But the United Nations, the World Bank, the World Economic Forum all say there is a gender pay gap internationally of between women earning 60 to 75% of men's wages. Should we believe those august institutions, or believe you that the gender pay gap is a myth?
I'm just going to speak honestly here. I mean, in my opinion, it would be better and more honest of yourself if you were to write a book denouncing feminism. And you can't come out with something like he for she and just using a different word but having the same information packaged behind that word, which could be a meme, M-E-M-E, a meme, which pretty much contains the same package of information that feminism has or embeds, because it's still what we know as feminism, irrespective of what you call it. Time and time again, I have men tell me that feminism is a man-made ideology that was invented by men that hold power in order that they extend and increase their power. But just like with guns, where you need a person to pull the trigger Feminism and its damaging properties that are propelled towards the fabric of society needs females to be the catalyst. It's just like a gun, where you need a person to be the catalyst to project a projectile or a bullet. With females, with feminism, you need females to be the catalyst. There's only one feminism, and it is destructive. So nobody stole feminism. Maybe the word that you're looking for is humanism, and humanism, as compared to feminism, are two completely different things. Humanism is a philosophical and ethical stance that emphasizes the value and agency of human beings individually and collectively, and generally prefers critical thinking and evidence over established doctrine or faith. And to me, with a lot of the way I see it, feminism is pretty much just a religion, a very extreme religion. A lot of females that take on feminism are extremists, and most females that I see today, they're not extreme or extremists, but they're still a part of a religion called feminism. It's just like your moderate Muslim or Christian or Jewish person as compared to an extremist. So it's all part of the same collective pool of feminism, which is, in my opinion, a religion. Feminism just doesn't cut it. And who stole feminism also just doesn't cut it. If you're so rational, and I mean this kindly, why can't you see that the word feminism is just as biased as the word masculinism or masculinist? For masculinist or masculinism is a range of movements and ideologies that share a common goal to define, establish and achieve equal political, economic, cultural, personal and social rights for men in education and employment. And this is straight from Wikipedia. Actually, I've got to be totally honest there, because that's believable that it could be straight from Wikipedia, this definition of a masculinist or masculinism. That's actually not what it is. That is the definition of feminism. Feminism, it's stated, is a range of movements and ideologies that share a common goal to define, establish and achieve equal political, economic, cultural, personal and social rights for women in education and employment. Now, how biased is that? The word you're looking for is humanism. Now, I'm a man going his own way, so I'm part of a community or a collective, depending on how one deems it fit to be defined, of pretty much as a man going my own way, and I believe even other men that are going their own way. We've learned and even adapted to see the world from the outside looking in. And I truly believe that you have the capacity. I know you're a very smart female, very smart. Just be honest and come out with the truth that feminism is not what it's always been evil, and who stole feminism is not right. You just got to come out with the truth and denounce feminism. Anyway, thanks for listening. Maybe we'll talk soon. Goodbye.
They're right, there's a gender pay gap. But the question is, why is there a gap? And if any responsible economist, including many feminist economists, will tell you that actually the gap can be explained. Much of it can be explained by what do women study in college? How many hours do they work per week? How did they take time out of the workplace? Men and women are rather different when it comes to what they do, the jobs they do, and how long they do them.
But doesn't that speak to structural discrimination in the workplace and implied pink jobs and blue jobs, things that do stop women progressing and having punctuated career trajectories?
Well, but that's different. If you're going to say pink jobs, that women are more likely to become teachers and social workers, and men are more likely to be higher paid engineers and computer scientists. That is true. But then why do they make those decisions? Now you can say that we were somehow forced or coerced, and I think that kind of explanation would make sense in a society where women didn't have access to information, they couldn't be self-determining human beings. But women in the United States and most of Europe, Australia, are among the most self-determining people in history. And I think we have to credit them with free will and freely choosing what they want to do. They just find it more interesting to be a psychologist than a petroleum engineer. So they will earn less.
You discount any theory that says that girls or women look at some of these male-dominated professions and don't see enough role models or see too many structural barriers in the workplace.
Now that is possible, but there was a time where were the role models in law? It didn't stop women from going in. In journalism, it was once all men. Veterinary medicine was a male field. It's becoming female-dominated in the United States.
And yet when you look at the upper echelons, they're still incredibly male-dominated in both of those professions that you just mentioned.
Well, that's changing now because young women are graduating more than men. They're moving ahead educationally. So I think we're also kind of caught in a time warp. What was once true is no longer true.
They may be graduating, but they're not going through to the higher levels in careers. I mean, even look at the graduate salary gap. The first year out of university, we have research in Australia that shows there's a $5,000 gap in some professions when men and women get their first jobs.
Well, you'd have to look at that because it's against the law to pay in a company to pay a man less than you pay a woman for the same job. And just think of it, if you could pay a woman $5,000 less than a man, I mean, employers would just fire all their male employees.